Guys, from what I've been seeing on my boat, there's a couple little tips with poppers will really help you guys catch more fish. I see a lot of guys that really don't fish these lures the way they're designed to fish. One thing is listen to the lure. Got my rod over here and it's popping water. Check this lure out when I turn over here though and smack it. That's the pop you want. You want it to smack. You don't want it to be splishy, splashy. You want it to smack. If I do a little evaluation per pop, that was a good one. That wasn't so good. That was a good one. That was a real good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good one. That was another good one. Good one. Ooh, real good one. Good one. The bow and the line is fine. The slack is actually what's helping smack the thing. That was not a good one. Good one. Good one. Good one. That's how much I'm thinking about what I'm doing. It's not just throw it out there and wind it back. The lure will get more bites if it smacks like that. Well, this is a little tiny popper too, and I'm getting the audio component I want. If you go with a bigger popper, it really should be loud. So the second thing just blows my mind. Guys will fish this lure with the rod up high. Literally, when your rod's high, you're pulling the face out of the water. You want your rod low. Think of the word blunt. You want the lure blunting into the water, not up out of the water, into the water. Come into the water. Good. It's been a good topwater day. Not quite as good numbers as I had with Ryan Bowers a few days ago, 2 days ago, but a good topwater day. Just caught a big one a while ago and have caught probably a dozen fish on topwater today. So there is no, don't let anybody tell you you have to fish a popper a certain way. Let the fish tell you. Don't let any person tell you. Just let the fish tell you. There is no one way. Really, there's no one way to fish any lure. If you watch, it was a good bite. If you watch most of the tournament guys, they have a fear of escape pattern, which I'll get back to in a minute. A lot of the pros use actually most of the pros use a fear of escape pattern where they have a rapid cadence. Bloop, 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 bloop. Even some of them are even able to walk that thing as they smack it. Mark DeShane told me he referred to that as the fear of escape. That lure, that shad, that herring, whatever, is really trying to get away from that bass. And it makes sense. I do something a little different. I mean, I catch a lot of fish on topwater. I don't always use a fear of escape pattern though. I don't think there's any one particular way that you always should do with just about any lure. Got a good little bite. So finishing up my day and finishing up my quick tips on fishing poppers. Number one was listen to the sound. These lures have an audio component. Make it sound like you want it to sound. Now sometimes wind or line mend or other things make it impossible to get the exact pop you want. One of the things that helps me is I use a fluorocarbon leader. A lot of guys don't even, I've heard a lot of old school guys say, oh, you can't use fluorocarbon on poppers. Man, that's all I use on poppers. I think the fluorocarbon smacks the lure a lot better for me. It doesn't have to do it just because I do it, but for me, the fluorocarbon smacks the lure better. So I get that sound I'm looking for. The second thing is the low rod tip. Man, I would never fish one of these with a high rod tip because I want the face to come straight into the water, not up out of the water. You don't want it to be splishy, splashy. I mean, some days they'll hit it like this, but generally speaking, or another way to put it, the lure is designed to have that pop with a low rod tip. So listen to the sound, low rod tip. You don't have to use a fluorocarbon leader, but I think if you'll try it, you'll get the same type audio component I get, and I think you'll like it. And I swear you think I'm joking, but you'll notice when you're getting that pop, they hit it more often when you're getting it to pop just right. I kind of just proved it right back there. Caught a real nice fish. Pop it with slack. I try to teach my clients on the boat, if I don't like the way they're popping it, I'll tell them to pop it with their hand off of the reel. Smack the rod, man. Smack it. Smack it. Sometimes people just reel and it kind of messes up the cadence, or it messes up the rhythm, but I can probably do 7 or 8 smacks. Boom, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I didn't even have my hand on the reel. Reel in the slack. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we talked earlier about patterns. Here's the fear of escape. Most of the pros you see on TV, they're using a fear of escape pattern. There's one. Now that fish liked the fear of escape, but there is no one way to do it. You just saw a fish earlier on my steady retrieve with an occasional pause. That particular fish, boy, when that lure started racing away, he had to have it. But again, there is no one way. You should play around with all these different cadences and patterns and let the fish tell you. Man, I'm big on that. Just let the fish tell you what's working. Nice bite.